See the little red button on the bottom, it says live. I'm screen a screen share now. Screen share. I don't know which one has this. This one. So I go back. I go here. Boom. 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 Share. Okay, cool. Present to everyone. All right. This is our EID100 final project proposal, and it's on file management on the Mac and Windows platforms. It's our first slide.
So for the structure, we're going to go with we're going to do an introduction, and after the introduction, there's going to be a list of pros and cons of both operating systems. We're going to list how each platform is used in the workplace. So that's just basically we're going to shed some light on how people use both Mac and PCs in the workplace, and then we're going to explain how they can be used in the same workplace effectively. Because a common problem nowadays is even though the two platforms are good at what they do, they don't work well together. And we're going to try to shed some light on how we can bridge the gap between those two. And then we're going to explain how the content can be managed on each platform as well.
After that, we're going to explain how the content can be shared using each platform using current software available, such as Dropbox, Google Drive, and so forth and so forth. Afterwards, we're going to explain more intermediate techniques on managing the content through a video tutorial using a virtual machine to transfer the content from the Mac server. Afterwards, we're going to listen to find the best practices for managing content universally.
So here we have a diagram of basically what we're going to try to explain to people. So we're going to go through three sections, the top one being for beginners. So that's for it's basically we're gonna try to show how we can transfer files with Dropbox, Google Drive, and Box. So those are online applications. And then we're going to go into intermediate. So we use virtual machines like VirtualBox and Bootcamp. So VirtualBox would be for PC users, Bootcamp for Mac users, and then advanced would be digital asset management systems, or DAM systems for short. And that would be Zynet Web Native.
So each level of the application, the software, beginner, intermediate, advanced, focus on different work environments. So beginner applications will focus on small businesses. The intermediate applications will focus on local companies, and the more advanced systems will focus on larger corporations. What we plan to achieve. For this presentation, we plan on teaching people about the implications of both operating systems, both the Macs and the PCs, and suggestions on how to best use both together in a workplace setting to maximize efficiency and overall performance. And all in all, to also educate everyone on how to properly transfer files from a Mac to a PC or between two computers in the context of sharing files in a business environment or in any of the workflow in any business.
Yeah, and as mentioned before, basically what our goals is to achieve is basically we sort of talked about before about how even though the two platforms are respective to what they do, they're not really well bridged in most organizations. So you have corporations who just adopt Windows operating systems, and then design companies that take only Mac, but they're both good at what they do, and they need to be, in order for you to use both of them together, we're going to try to show how we're going to bridge the two together, but mainly how to transfer files, because there are definitely problems sometimes, especially with Mac applications not being compatible with some of the Windows applications out there.
How we plan on doing that. So for our final project, we're going to create a presentation. It's going to be concise, quick, straight to the point, lots of diagrams and explanations. So very easy to read, very easy to understand, visually appealing, and a video tutorial. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, so the video tutorials, we're probably going to have two maybe, depending on how long they are. We're not going to try to make them too long, but basically I'm going to try to take a screen cap of my computer and do a walkthrough basically on how I would transfer a file, because I run one of the programs that we were discussing, VirtualBox, and I use it for as a virtual machine to transfer files to Mac servers. And normally on a PC, you wouldn't be able to access the Mac server on a PC. So using a VirtualBox, for example, or a virtual machine would help with that. And I'm just going to go through a tutorial on how I would do that for my own home. And then basically Ben would also go on through just briefly on how to set up, I guess, either an admin account or a client account on how to set up a DAM system, because for larger corporations managing lots of assets and content, they're definitely going to want something more like that, considering the fact that Mac servers and virtual machines are, it's kind of it's more expensive to install all that software on all the computers, and for larger content, like larger files and more content, it's not really beneficial to the company for more content basically. So, and that's basically going to be it for the most part. If you have any questions about what we're going to do, just contact me or Ben. So my contact information is there, and Ben's contact information is below that. So yeah, if you have any questions about any clarification on anything that we maybe missed or need more discussion about, contact us at these email addresses, and we can probably meet you after class to talk about it some more. So that's about it. Thank you. Okay, cool. So that's it. We're done.